The chair of BBVA is the only foreign bank operating in Venezuela, says the US arrest of Maduro has created new opportunities in Venezuela. Carlos Torres Vila spoke to me here about Venezuela's business climate, and particularly who's in charge, calling the shots, if you will. Is it Caracas or Washington?
We are the only foreign bank in Venezuela. We're quite large. We have 24% of the market, excluding the state-owned bank, 16 if you include it, so we're quite significant there. But for the last 25 years, what we have been doing is giving service to the population without much return. Now there's a window of opportunity.
So as best as you can tell us, are you in touch with the US administration?
We have contact with the US administration. I cannot give any details.
Oh, please.
But certainly, all the companies that are operating in Venezuela, the foreign companies, have to do banking with us because we're the only foreign bank with international standards. So as new investment might come in, and again, we need to be patient, we are in a good position to exploit that. We have a retail bank, but also a commercial and corporate bank.
Who do you regard as being the authority that you really need to be in touch with and to be in tune with? The local government there or the US administration?
No, the rules are very clear. We are operating in the country of Venezuela, operating under the rules and supervision. In that respect, nothing has changed. So the bank continues to operate and give service, which is quite an essential service. What we have now is the opportunity for more investment to come, and in that respect, more companies are looking at Venezuela. What I think might happen is that the companies that are already present are going to be the ones who are going to invest more quite quickly. So we might see a ramp up of production of oil, for example, from Repsol, from Chevron, from Eni. But for new companies to come in, it might take a bit longer for conditions to stabilize or to have more visibility.
But you're in a very, very strong position because you can, you've already joined up the dots between, say, for example, New York banking, European banking, Venezuelan banking. You're already got the money flowing between all the necessary financial centres.
It is what it is. Also, it's a small operation because the country's GDP has come down significantly over the last decade and a half. But the future is quite brighter if things normalize.
So when you look at the disruption at the moment, what Mark Carney calls the rupture of the transatlantic relationship, or even the North American relationship between the three countries, Canada, US and Mexico, how is this affecting you, this disruption?
There was and continues to be a lot of uncertainty, but the uncertainty has materialized in a much less negative impact than anticipated. In general, globally, and the world's economy is growing quite nicely and is growing nicely in the countries where we're present. Now, Mexico is in a particularly strong situation because it provides competitiveness to the US market. So as the US trade war continues, or the need for the US to be more autonomous, they must rely on Mexico, so there's a lot of investments. Value chains are quite integrated, and we are, of course, this is a year in which the US-Mexico-Canada trade agreement will be reviewed, but we expect positive news coming from that.
Right, come over here to join me at the board. Join me at the board.
So we're quite positive about the impact AI will have in the world, but it also comes with challenges, challenges around how wealth is going to be distributed.
Very important.
Because as we shift value from labor to capital, capital accumulates with capital, so that leads to inequality. We need to figure that out. We need to figure out also a very important challenge that comes with AI, which is the role of humans.
Right.
In an age in which the machines can do basically everything we do today. So my source of hope, or what gives me hope, is the inventiveness of people.
Inventiveness. Oh, I can honestly say I had my heart in my mouth when he was writing inventiveness. I wouldn't like to have to write inventiveness and spell it on television, bending down in a language that wasn't my first language. But there you get the idea.